Hey YouTube, what's up? Deck Profile Mania today, I guess. This is my Nova Grappler Raizer deck. I've always loved Nova Grapplers, but out of all the archetypes there are out there, Raizers have always been my favorite. I've never really been able to make a Raizer deck back in the day because they only came in that extra booster and they were super fucking hard to get and pull and etc, and they just weren't that good. When I saw him announced in Japan, I said, when this deck ever comes out in English, I'm going to make it. I have had this deck since the set got released with this clan, but I've been waiting to upload a deck profile with all the new support from G1, which is finally done, and I'm still debating on if I want to play this or the X in regionals. The X is great and all, but I love this deck way too much. But yeah, on to my deck profile. For my starter, I am playing the Grade 3 Searcher. I will get to that in a minute, but yeah, it's just Grade 3 Searcher. For Grade 3s, I am playing 4 copies of Ultimate Raizer Mega Flare. If y'all don't know what he does, he's a Legion, obviously. And when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it is in Legion, and the number of units you have rested is 4 or more, gets +1 crit. That includes him and his Legion mate. So if you have him in Legion and 2 other cards rested, he gets an extra crit, which is really good. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if you have another unit with Raizer in its middle column, you can choose one of your rear guards with Raizer in its name. Actually, I think it's just any rear guard. When this unit hits a Vanguard, if you have another unit with Raizer in its card, yeah, just stand one of my rear guards. Really good. So yeah, 4 copies of that. And I know most Raizer decks only play 4 copies of that, hence the Grade 0, because you really don't need any more Grade 3s. But I like taking in one of these. 1, if you don't want to ride him, he's good stride fodder. And 2, he is really good early game. If you draw into him, he's not a lemon break and not a Legion, so you don't need 4 damage or 4 cards in the drop zone. So that'll focus. Really old card from set 4. It got reprinted in the extra booster when Raizers came out, but this SP's pretty. Ultimate Combined, Perfect Raizer. If you have, actually it's extra booster or whatever, if you do not have another unit with Raizer in its name on the Vanguard or rear guard, it gets -2. Just keep that in mind, not that big a deal though. During your turn, this card gets +3000 power for each card in your soul with Raizer in its card name. So by your turn 3 ride, this card should at least have a +9k. But you're going to at least have another card in soul because you're not going to ride him unless you do. So it should have +12k in, so it'll be a 23k column, which is really nice by itself. During your turn, if the number of cards in your soul with Raizer in your name are 4 or more, this card gets +1 critical. Like I said, very good early game pressure. This last effect is really good to get that the last effect off, but I will say be cautious about this because it is not optional. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, put all rear guards you have with Raizer in your name into your soul. So that is not optional. So if you ride this and you have a field full of Raizers, you're kind of fucked. Because unless you just wanted to do that for some stupid reason. But it's not optional, so they'll have to go into soul. For Grade 2s, I am playing 4 of the absolute best Grade 2 in the deck. During your turn that your Vanguard is in Legion, when your Vanguard attacks, stand this unit and gets +5 turn. And it can be used for the rest of that turn. Very good. Alright, for my next card, I opted to play Cool Bob over, or Cool Hank over, Silent Bob. I don't know. Whatever the Grade 2 AK is from the really old set that you can rest this card and the one in the same unit and draw a card. I don't like him. I do not think he's needed. I have never been grade stuck with this deck. So that's the main reason people play that card. But I don't like him, nor would I ever play him. So I was playing the 10k vanilla Raizer instead of that card until this card came out, which is very, very good. G-Break 1, counterblast 1 when this unit attacks a Vanguard. If it is boosted, pay the cost, choose one of your rear guards and stand it. It gets plus 5k until the end of the turn. This can't be used for the rest of that turn. This is very, very, very nice. For my last bit of grade 2s, I am playing 4, I think it's Raizer, Raizer, I don't fucking know. When this unit stands during the effect of one of your cards, if you have a Vanguard with Raizer in its card name, choose one of your other rear guards in the same column and stand it. So, I'll explain a really good combo later, but essentially, Cool Hank is another good reason that this card is now a lot better. For grade 1s, I am playing 4 copies of this guy, the Quintet Wall. If you watched any of my videos, I hate Quintet Walls. I don't like playing them. I just don't. So, that being said, when I first built this deck, there was no Raizer Perfect Guard, and I really, really did not want to play any of the other Perfect Guards. Not to mention, they're kind of a bitch to find around my locals, and people overvalue them, which is very annoying, and I'm not about to go buy a $5 PG online, which I think is like $4 now, just when I already had these. Also, the deck doesn't counterblast at all. Well, my original build didn't. This one does a little more, but not much. These might be coming out for Perfect Guards when I get them. I would still be an old Perfect Guard. I would not play the new one that unflips the damage because there's no point. The deck, like I said, almost does not counterblast. Hence the reason this was good, because it's just a massive guard, and it feels like your drop zone for a Legion. But these might be coming out for old Perfect Guards. I'm not sure. For next bit of grade 1s, I am playing 2 Energy Charger. Soul Blast 2 when it's placed on rear guard. If you have no grappler Vanguard, pay the cost, draw a card. Helps with consistency for getting your grade 3s early game. And then I was playing 4 of him. I cut it down to 2 for 2 of this guy. Really good skill. You mainly only want to put this card behind your Vanguard. Let's just put it that way. During your turn, all of your other units with Raizer in its card name in the same column as this unit get auto, Vanguard, or rear guard. Counterblast 2, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. It does not include himself, but if you put this card behind your Vanguard and it hits, not only will you have a crit, more than likely, and stand a unit, but you have the option to counterblast 4 cards and draw 2 cards. It's very, very good. 4 copies of Scream and Dancer Shout. Rest, Drop, Draw. This is your primary grade 1 ride, and you want to call him as soon as you get him to help cycle through your deck. 4 Cat Butler. Alright. I love this card and I hate this card. I love this card because it's broken. Because if your Vanguard with a grade 2 does not hit your opponent's Vanguard, you can retire this card and stand your Vanguard. Also, this card does not have to be stood when you retire it, so you can boost and then do the skill. It's another reason it's dumb. And you're like, oh, you don't, that's not good when you hit grade 3. Wrong. As long as your Vanguard's in Legion, there is always a grade 2 on the field. So, no, that is not wrong. The reason I don't like him is he's a grade 0. If he was a grade 1, I would have liked him a lot more. He has a 10k guard, I guess, but if you draw him early game, he kind of sucks. I'm just going to throw that out there. Let's put it this way. You open him in your opening hand, you're going to want to return him. So, that being said, 4 Red Lightnings. If you happen to need to unflip damage for some reason, that's what he's there for. So 4 crit. 4 more crit. And 4 more crit. So I am playing 12 crit in this deck because both your Vanguards get criticals. So if you're swinging with your Legion or your other Vanguard and you hit double crit, that's 4 damage. That's massive numbers. And even if you hit 1 crit and it hits, you get a standing unit with your ultimate flare. So it's just really, really good. And then 4 heal triggers. Another reason you don't need a lot of grade 3s is strides because of G-Assist. So I am playing 4 copies of Meteor Kaiser Viet Victoplasma. His skill is Counterblast 2, choose a card with a name from your G-Zone face down, turn it face up. If you have number of face-up cards in your G-Zone is 2 or more, this unit gets -1 drive check. And choose 2 cards in your hand, discard them at the end of the turn. This unit attacks the Vanguard. Pay the cost if you do stay in this card. You cannot use this ability for the rest of the turn. So, hey, standing stride. Seems good. And then 4 copies of this guy. This is the guy you're going to want to go into first. And obviously, this is the guy you're going to want to use if you have to use G-Assist. Grade 4. And it hits a Vanguard. Choose one of your guards and stand him. Gets plus 5k. Very, very good. Lots of pressure. That's the deck, guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and peace, YouTube.